Hey everyone, it's Meg, and today is Sunday, May 19th, which makes me 29 weeks and 5 days pregnant with twin girls, and it sure has been a whirlwind lately. So I'm going to back up a couple of weeks to let you know what's been going on and what is happening now in this pregnancy. So Tuesday the 7th, 2 weeks ago, I turned 28 weeks pregnant, and my husband and I went to my perinatologist visit for our routine, regularly scheduled visit to check on the babies. Both girls were perfect and healthy and just looked beautiful. And then we checked my cervix length, and it was 2.69 centimeters long, which they had said at that point was shorter than they would like and getting close to being too short. They said anything under 2.5 at 28 weeks with multiples is considered bad. So I was like, okay, well, we're not at 2.5 or under. So they sent me home on Tuesday the 7th to do at-home rest, which was basically staying off my feet, no grocery shopping, no walks, don't exert yourself, stay on your back if you can, just lay super low. So our follow-up appointment was Tuesday the 14th, and I was 29 weeks exactly. Brent and I went back in to check on the babies and my cervix, and again, the babies are beautiful and perfect, lots of fluid, they are growing right on time, and everything about them is perfect and wonderful, and I just love them. And then they checked my cervix, and I even noticed that it was considerably shorter than it was last time. I could see it in the monitor, and I was just like, that looks shorter. Sure enough, our ultrasound tech left and got our nurse practitioner in. The nurse practitioner was like, yep. And she left to talk to the perinatologist, and they came back and they were like, your cervix is 1.7 centimeters long. That's incredibly short. You're only 29 weeks. We'll see you at labor and delivery. What? Brent and I are just like, really? And seriously, it's like the words left their mouth, and everyone moved at a really high pace after that. I was put in a wheelchair by a nurse and zoomed down across the hallway over to labor and delivery. And we get checked in there, we get put in a room, and Brent and I, our heads are still spinning. We're like, really? Labor and delivery? What's happening? Am I in labor? What's going on? We know this is short. What's happening? Overwhelmed. We are greeted with 3 doctors, my OB, my perinatologist, and a resident, and 2 nurses. And they just tell us quickly, you're not officially in labor. Your cervix is too short. The shorter it gets, you'll start to dilate, and that's no good. So we are keeping you here to make sure that you don't go into labor. Okay. So I get out of my clothes, get in a gown, and they immediately put an IV in, and that was traumatic. Took 4 sticks. 2 sticks badly bruised both my left and right arm badly. If you could see them, you'd be grossed out. It was not the nurse's fault. I just have bad veins. Once they got the IV in, they started a regular IV fluid drip. They also started magnesium, which I guess magnesium is used for preterm labor patients as well to help stop labor. But I was not necessarily in labor. Every medicine I received at the hospital was specifically to just help the baby's development and give them every chance that they possibly could have outside the womb to do well. So magnesium was started to boost brain development for both babies. I then rolled onto my side and got a shot in the bum that stung like none other. In fact, as soon as she gave me the shot, I yelled out, "Crikey!" It hurt so bad. Apparently the word that came to mind was crikey. It stung, but it was to boost lung development. So I was given my first round of steroid shot for lungs, and I started the magnesium drip in my IV for brain development. Once that got started, they put a contraction belt over my tummy, and sure enough, I was having painless contractions about 4 an hour, and I was surprised they were contractions because I was like, oh, I've been feeling these for the last couple of weeks. And they're like, will be classified as contractions because that's what it is, but it's more like an aggravated uterus. My fundal height now is well over 40 centimeters. And apparently this is common in twin pregnancy, that at some point later the uterus just gets stretched so much so quickly that it does what any muscle does. It just gets stressed and it starts to contract and cramp up. So with painless contractions and a very short cervix, they were doing everything they could to make sure my body didn't go into labor and that the girls didn't come. So it was really just crazy intense. Like that first hour, we had so many doctors and nurses in the room. We had people from like different parts of the hospital. They're like, you need to sign this paper just in case how delivery. If you have a C-section, you need blood. Is that okay? And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is intense. I'm so thankful that the nurses and the doctors, even though it was storm-like in that room, everyone was moving as quick as they could. They were very calm about how they presented everything to me. They made sure I knew why I was receiving medication, what kind of medication I was receiving, why I was signing paperwork, what it meant. It was just, they were very good at making sure that Brent and I knew exactly what was happening and why it was happening. And I'm so, so thankful for that, because it was busy and it got confusing, and Brent and I were a little scared. We didn't really know what was happening other than I had just been admitted to the hospital and everything was just being thrown at us at once. So I'm thankful for our nurses and our doctors. After I have my medication and I'm hooked up to the contraction monitor, they were like, okay, we're gonna put in a catheter. And I was like, no, I don't like catheters. Those hurt. I have bad reactions to them. This is not happening. So my only other option was bedpan. So I went with the bedpan, and I literally, once they got me in the bed and either on my back or on my side, I did not move that position for maybe a little more than 24 hours. Like, it was intense. I stayed that way all night. I didn't have any bathroom privileges. I had to use the bedpan, which was an experience. I had to learn how to pee while laying down on a plastic. It was just odd. The only side effect I had quickly to the medication, magnesium made my body core temperature go through the roof. They said that would happen, that it's very common for women who are on it to get really hot and sweaty. And my room temperature in labor and delivery was like 60 degrees. It was like a frozen tundra, and it was wonderful because I was so hot from magnesium. So I was hot and I got lethargic as well, which was probably good because I needed to stay off my feet and off my bottom, because any pressure on your butt puts pressure on your cervix. So lying down was the key. So we were there, admitted Tuesday morning around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Wednesday morning comes around and everything is looking good. My contractions are anywhere still between 2 and 4 an hour, which is good. They're still painless. Medication is going well. I get good news, and I'm told that I am being moved from labor and delivery to PCU. At my hospital, PCU is prenatal care unit. It's a very small unit. It only has 4 rooms. It only occupies 4 patients, and we are all 4 of us women who are on that little wing are high-risk pregnancies who are trying to stay pregnant. So the care is a little more individualized. You get a nurse kind of one-on-one status because you're so high risk. So I was moved from labor and delivery to PCU on Wednesday late morning, and that was smooth. Again, great nurses at PCU. Really loved them. Once I was settled at PCU, I was given my second round of steroid shots in the bum for the baby's lungs, and I was getting a constant drip of magnesium, so they just kept filling the bag. I was also, Wednesday morning, given bathroom privileges. I was so super excited. This meant that I could go to the bathroom. I just had to have assistance at all time. So all day Wednesday, I just hung out in my hospital room, flat on my back. My contractions went from 2 to 4 to 1 to 2, and still receiving my magnesium. And I was hoping that I wouldn't have to be there long. The doctors would come in and we would talk about what the goal was. And they said, your next goal is no longer make it to 37. We need to get you to 32. If you can make it to 32, then our next goal is 34. And if you can make it to 34, anything after that is gravy. So all day Wednesday, my husband and I kind of prepped ourselves, and we're like, okay, so now we have to make it to 32 weeks, and we can do this. So then Thursday, the 16th, I wake up and I'm doing really well. I don't have to have any medicine. They're able to take my IV out, which meant that I had full bathroom privileges. I no longer needed assistance using the bathroom. I could go on my own. I didn't have to call a nurse. I was still on bed rest, but I was able to sit up more and not be so flat on my back or on my side, which was really great because that gets uncomfortable quickly. There was also discussion that I might be able to go home sooner since my contractions had pretty much completely stopped and I was responding so well to the medication. While in the hospital, though, they never rechecked my cervix, and I asked why they didn't, and all the doctors were like, we check you, it just aggravates the cervix and it makes it shorter. Anytime anyone goes digging around down there, everything reacts, and right now we want it to be non-reactive. So all day Thursday, hanging out alone at the hospital. Friday morning on the 17th, my doctor wakes me up and is like, I think you're going to go home today. And I was so happy to hear those words. So Friday the 17th, they finally let me shower. That was wonderful. I was able to shower and get cleaned up before I got discharged, and I was given all this information about what we need to do, and I am currently at home on crazy strict bed rest. I have a doctor's appointment Monday tomorrow, and I see the perinatologist on Tuesday. If my cervix is shorter, the perinatologist said you may be readmitted and you may end up staying here until delivery. I am hoping that that's not the case. I'm hoping that my cervix has not gotten any shorter and that when we go in on Tuesday, I can come back home and not have to be readmitted to the hospital. But our current goal now is to make it to 32 weeks pregnant. So if I can make it to 32, then we're good. And then after that, I have to make it to 34. So it has been a whirlwind. It's been insane. It's been really emotional. I have felt very overwhelmed by all of this. I now feel like more than ever that Brent and I are living on borrowed time, that these girls could really come at any given minute, it seems like. And I'm just doing my best to stay pregnant. So here I am on my couch. The only time I get up is usually just to go to the bathroom or to take a shower. So that's all the activity I get, and that's what's been going on. I will keep you guys updated on what happens on my appointment on Tuesday, if I am going back to the hospital or if I'm staying home. But I will keep you updated. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for those of you who sent me messages and comments of well wishes and prayers and love. You have no idea how much that means to me right now, because right now it's okay for me to smile, but there have been a lot of tears shed and a lot of stress and anxiety and feeling overwhelmed, and it's just a crazy time. It's a crazy time. So I'll keep you all posted. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.